tight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by BlackRifleCoffee.com. Welcome to Ross Patterson Revolution, Jabes. Has the world gone mad? Has the world gone mad? That's my question to you. I'm gonna, before I go in this Tuesday shot, because we're doing video shows on iTunes and YouTube, which you can subscribe to. I'm gonna boom pop a couple squirts in my water today because I had Black Rifle coffee earlier. I need a little boost. Today.
Oh, yeah.
And it's rare that I need a boost.
Yeah.
I need a little boost.
Do you?
I feel a little worn down, Jabes.
Oh, gosh. I'm sorry that I cannot feel sorry for you.
It's not that. More or less worn down by the news, by Twitter, by all of it.
Okay.
There's just so much fucking craziness going on that it's hard to comprehend to me people I thought who were friends at some point in my life.
Okay.
Like the way that they lose their mind over shit now, where it's just like, it's puzzling. It's really puzzling to me.
Okay.
I feel like Instagram is about the only place I can go for some form of happiness, social media wise.
Yeah.
After Trump met with Putin, it really brought out who the real people were on Facebook. Okay. Twitter has a meltdown every 10 seconds. I was expecting that.
Sure.
Facebook, I was just like, that person, Like they crawled out of that cave and decided to make a political statement.
Can you give me an example, not naming names?
No, well, here's the thing. I started unfollowing people or blocking them just because I was like, man, it was post after post after post where I was just like, are you fucking kidding me? A lot of like treason we must impeach. He had this meeting. Trump had a meeting with Putin. And I'm like, what the fuck? And they were like, oh, you can't meet with Putin. They meddled in our elections or tried to at least. Again, I've said this many times, and I will continue to say this many more. We have been spying on Russia and every other country for decades.
Right.
They have been spying on us and meddling in elections for decades. This is going to go on forever. It did not have any outcome on the election whatsoever. Mm-hmm. Unless the people that they paid off through Facebook, unless you read those ads and thought to yourself, man, I really believe what I'm reading here.
Sure.
I don't have any opinion of my own. I'm just going to blindly follow what people throw up, and that's going to influence my vote. If that's the case, you're a dumb individual anyways, and you deserved to be duped, and whatever happened to you happened because you're a fucking idiot.
Right.
I don't believe hardly anything I read these days unless I like triple fact check it, where I'm like, oh, that must be the thing. Like the shouts of treason and all this other bullshit. I don't care. Right. I don't give a fuck. Again, we've had spies over there. There's been 10 million Robert Redford movies where we have spied on Russia and vice versa. I don't care. I know they're spying on us. I know we're spying on them. I'm personally I seem to be alone in this opinion where with the Putin and the North Korea meeting, I'm just glad that we're meeting with other world leaders who, one, Russia we were in a Cold War with for fucking 30 years until Rocky IV ended it. You're not going to tell me any different that Rocky IV didn't end the Cold War.
I think Putin actually said that exact phrase at the summit. Yeah,
probably. I think he
said
thinks
the Cold War is a thing of the past thanks to Rocky.
Stallone. Yeah.
Hey. Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, Stallone.
Hey.
Did you? Stallone in the studio, you guys. This is an amazing.
What are we fighting for over here? I can do this. You can do this.
Oh, what a fun surprise.
I know, isn't it? It's always a fun surprise when Sly drops by. But in my personal opinion, with all of this shit, with Putin and with Kim in North Korea, I'm glad there's dialogue. I'm glad that presidents are meeting. My biggest goal for me and my family, which I think everybody should just be worried about their friends and family.
Sure.
My biggest goal with, as far as like foreign affairs and politics go, is that we're not going to get blown up. I don't want to live under the fear of a fucking bomb or a missile could come and just nuke our country and we would be in a world war.
Sure.
So that being first and foremost at the top of my list of how I live my life and I value my friends and family, I'm happy the fucking Putin meeting took place. Mm-hmm. I'm happy the Kim meeting took place. Mm-hmm. Those are really the only countries I worried about. China, I guess China would be the only other one where it's like, great. Why don't you go? Like, I hope he meets with the fucking prime minister of China next. I hope there's dialogue about that too. Great. So that way it lessens the chances of us blowing up one another in the future. And that's really all I give a shit about. If you're asking me about spies and treason and all this other bullshit, I don't care. I know for a fact we're spying on them. I know we have spies over there. And I'm sure they have spies here. I know they do in Britain. Fuck, they got wiped over there. What wank?
Right.
They wiped. Russia wiped their own spies.
The cousin wipe is what it's called.
They wiped their own spies over there. 3 or 4 of them died. And, you know, British Parliament was like, oh my God, it's crazy. They gave nerve gas to their own agents. No, that's the way it should be.
Right.
Like, if you're a spy and you go to another country and you get caught, your country's got to kill you. You know that when you sign up, and that's kind of the deal.
Sure.
So if you think that for 1 second, just because, you know, Guccifer 2.0 hacked into the DNC, that was a big deal or kind of, you know, changed the election, it didn't. Like, the DNC, when they got hacked, it was exposed for giving the questions to Hillary instead of Bernie Sanders anyway. If you're going to be pissed off about anything, they threw Bernie under the bus, for Christ's sakes. Like, nobody influenced what's his dick, Comey, to come out, 3 weeks before the election and say, I'm reopening the investigation with Hillary Clinton. Now, if that happened, if Russia did that, then congratulations, we got
his
something.
Family or something, made him do it.
Yeah, if the ballots were rigged, and you know, votes were fake in the election that went for one candidate, not the other, great. I would say, fuck it. Now, I don't give a shit. I also don't give a shit. I'm done with her emails too. Like, stop wasting our fucking time with this shit. Because there was a guy, one of the FBI guys who was investigating on the Mueller team. They had him out because they found a bunch of text messages saying we're going to get Trump, and he was a big Hillary supporter and all that shit. And they did this whole grandstanding thing in Congress where the Republicans grilled him and vice versa. And I don't care. That's a waste of time, a waste of taxpayers' money. You found the text messages.
He also was just like, you know, it's 2016. He was talking to like a colleague he thought privately or something privately, and it was just kind of like,
his girlfriend.
Don't worry, we'll get him. And it's like, at that time, you know, people were saying all kinds of fucking shit, but you know, I actually don't believe that it, you know, he did anything, you know,
wrong.
I mean, I don't know. He had his opinions, but everyone does, and everyone's biased. So he's basically is just like, we're all biased. We all have our things, but it doesn't interfere with our work if we're in a certain position.
And my biggest thing is this, right? So you had the text messages. Was there bias? Absolutely. But he was already outed. It was already out there. Why hold a whole goddamn day's worth of hearing?
He wanted to.
That the taxpayers are... he wanted to, but so do the Republican senators.
I'm sure.
It's just like, I don't... Both of them can get fucked. Yeah. Like, all of that whole day can get fucked.
No, it's just dumb. Did you hear? Like, ridiculous. It was just such grandstand. Like, can you look at your wife in the eyes with your life? And then like some lady's like, oh, congressman, oh, please, you're going. And it's like, it was this big, like, ridiculous show.
All of it is
a show.
But that's all this is turned into. I know. Preposterous grandstanding where it's just on both sides, where it's just like, hey, can we just go back to fucking work? Can you just do your job? Work on the budget. Work on healthcare, work on homeless, like work on shit that actually matters. I don't give a shit about this. Like, this is like Twitter fodder for people out there who are like, oh, I hate the right or I hate the left.
Yeah.
That's all this is, because you're not getting anything out of the meeting. That guy's not going to jail. No. Nothing's going to happen.
No.
And again, the same thing with the Russia meeting and the Kim meeting. Like, great. That lessens the chance of us getting blown up. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit about the election anymore. All of it, you can literally just put in a fucking box, like a box, and bury it in the backyard. Like Gwyneth Paltrow's head in Seven. I don't give a shit. The only person who does, the only Brad Pitt in this situation is still Hillary Clinton. And I heard she's going to run again. So great. Try it. Exactly. But here's the thing. It's a free fucking country.
Don't do that.
But do it. If you wants to do it, great. Do it.
Hey, sure. And you're right. Back to the free country thing and the Facebook thing.
Yes. But here's the thing. With the Facebook thing, I can be outraged because it's my show.
Sure.
It's our show.
Sure.
I don't give a shit. I can talk shit on here because it's voluntary. Whether or not you listen to a podcast, it's by choice. Same with Facebook. It's voluntary that I'm friends with these people or not friends with these people. If I want to see that shit all day, like, great. That's my own fucking choice. I didn't. So I unfriended them or blocked them or whatever. And I'm just like, I move on with my day. But like people, I like some of these threads yesterday, I watched them go up into the hundreds of comments. Just, because I knew we were doing a show today to talk about it. And I was like, man, that was your whole day that you just spent on Facebook talking in circles politically with somebody else that will never share the same views with you. And it's just like, what did you do that day? Are you that bored at work? Are you that clearly you're that angry? I got that. But to spend that much fucking time on it, I just don't care. The only thing that I care about is, are all my friends working? Are we going to get blown up? And then, truthfully, what you're making for dinner.
Right.
Because if you fuck that up, then that's a catastrophe to me. Then it's treason. That's treason because I married you under false pretenses that you were going to cook every single night and it was going to be amazing. And
I don't cook.
You do, James. Yeah, pretty close. You're a great cook. I talk about it all the time.
I cook when I want to. Nobody tells me what to do. But also, but that sounded really bad. Like I married you under the pretense that you were going to cook every single night.
No,
I don't.
No. But they tell you that
I
of like, hey,
doing it. I cook when I want to, and we eat out when I need a break.
Yeah,
but anyway.
yeah. You love to cook. That's the whole thing.
I do. Yes. So yeah, but also
I wasn't saying like you're fucking barefoot in the kitchen.
Sure, nobody tells me what to do. And
you were last night like pregnant, barefoot in the kitchen. So.
Always.
Yes.
That's a real thing for a reason.
Yes.
It feels better to be barefoot. And you happen to go into the kitchen quite a lot. It just happens.
Is that why it's called Barefoot Contessa? I never really got the thing.
I actually don't know why.
Maybe it's the wine.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I think it's more like it's the thing of hers is like I'm a casual Contessa. Do you know what I mean? I'm not super uptight about it.
Sure.
But I have to say something about the Facebook. There's so many times that I want to unfriend people or their feeds are just like so annoying to me or they're getting really outraged. And for me, I just don't really want to be a hypocrite in that like in the beginning of this whole thing, like we kind of lost a lot of friends and we got unfriended and kind of unfollowed by friends of ours because of like they heard that, who we voted for or whatever.
Right. Which
I felt was crazy. Like, why can't you be friends with someone that just has a different view?
It's not that. I think...
It's just too much. I know.
For me personally, 2 years later, it's too much.
It's too much. And it's annoying on the feed. Like, I get that.
To be fair, in something totally unrelated to the election is like when the Falcons, my beloved Falcons, lost in the Super Bowl.
Sure.
There's a shit ton of New England fans who always make the 28-3 jokes, and I still get tagged in those. Boom, unfriend, unfriend, block every single time to the point where like I block this guy. He went through his wife's page and hit me up and just said, "Hey man, I'm really sorry about that joke or whatever. Like, can you not block me?" And I go, "No, you knew what you were doing with that joke, so you can go fuck yourself." Yeah. And I let him know. And I was just like, it was the third time at that point. and that he'd tag me of like, oh, hey, cool. It would be like you getting tagged in a meme with fucking Christina Applegate every single day, where it's just like, oh, all right, cool. I kind of look like her. I get it. You know what I'm saying?
But that's not offensive in any way.
Well, it would be after your 4,000th fucking time where you're like, hey, I can't even look at shit anymore because this keeps popping up. Boom.
Let me compare it to this. So people used to say Juliette Lewis.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I used to get Juliette Lewis a lot. I guess back in the day, darker hair.
I don't see it, James.
You don't?
No. Viola Davis.
You'll see it.
Viola Davis, I see.
You guys will see it. But I'm like, from which one? The Good Sister?
Yeah.
So
which Juliette Lewis. Yeah.
So if they kept putting me in memes.
Yeah.
Which now that I'm saying it, I know it's going to happen. So I don't know why I do this.
I don't either. Nope.
Yeah. So if you keep putting me in memes of the Good Sister, Juliette Lewis, I might block you. But the thing of me is like, it's the beauty of just not really being super chill about it and like refusing to get mad about this whole thing and everything, is that I'm just kind of like letting it pass, and I let other people get really outraged, and I find it not funny. I just feel bad for them that they're so mad and wound up and angry about this, and I'm able to be like, oh.
So with Twitter,
pass.
Yeah, with Twitter, it's a hellstorm anyways. I don't really unfriend people or block people because it's
no point. It's all just gonna
it's all fucking garbage.
Going.
Facebook though, I'm one of those people who genuinely likes to see pictures of my friends and family having fun, doing fun shit.
You're trying to just filter
watch their kids grow up, like for real. I genuinely look forward to that in my feed of like. And it sounds cheesy, but it's true. Like nothing makes me happier I see my friends be successful or having fun with their family, going on vacations, trips, things like that, where I'm like, awesome, man. I'm just glad that person's doing well. And it's cool to see their kids and their lives unfold in front of me. I feel closer to them. Like, and I think, you see those Facebook ads where it's just like, we're connecting the world and people, whatever. I think that's what it was originally intended for.
Oh, for sure. And that's what I felt in the beginning.
Same. And it's gotten way away from that, obviously.
Crazy.
But that's what I signed up for. That's what I liked about it. And the business page, obviously we use for Ross Patterson Revolution podcast, Facebook page, my own personal page. And it's like things that I'm doing and shit like that. Like, I don't ever go on and preach political opinions. Very, very rare. Like I think the last one was when Lin-Manuel Miranda fucking called out the vice president after the election from the stage with his family, and I was just like, that's. But it's not with you. It's not an outrage of just like, I can't believe blah blah blah. It's just sort of like, hey man, here's the deal. Like, that's not fucking cool. Or like Sarah, Huckabee Sanders being kicked out of that restaurant or whatever. It's not an outrage. It's just sort of like, dude, not cool, man. Yeah. Like, and yeah. So if I have unfriended or blocked you, it's just basically because I just don't want to see it all day. I'm just trying to see what my friends and family are doing. And I don't want to read about your horseshit. Like, you're not going to change my mind. Like, some of these people, I just one guy from LA. He was my agent's assistant. Now he's like an agent, and he completely switched to like the dark side of like posting fucking 9, anti-Trump tweet or posts a day. And I finally was just like, because I used to like this guy a lot, and I was just like, man. I told him, and I was very blunt with him, and I said, I actually loved following you before you turned into a politician. And it was like, I'd sit outraged what's going on. And I was like, if it is, and I wrote back kindly, which is shocking for me.
Very.
But kindly, I wrote back, I go, if it's such an outrage, run for office, and then you'll be able to change things. Like, you can truly make a difference, because on Facebook, you're not making any difference, and you're just. He responded to me and said, "This is the best one ever." He goes, "Well, the people in my district and in my state are already Democrats, and
to the choir."
And he goes, I feel that I wouldn't be able to do what." And I'm like, well, clearly they're not doing a good enough job for you, because you're really unhappy every day on Facebook all day long. And I go, so You should probably think about taking their job because clearly they're not doing what you want them to do.
Right.
And it was just shut down after that. He didn't reply anymore. And I go, look, I wish you the best of luck in your career. I can't read your shit every day. Like it's depressing.
Sure.
And I was super honest about it. I was like, all
right. I only unfriend if people tell you to. I know you've probably seen these posts where it's like, if you agree with blah, 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 unfriend me right now. Yep. If you da-da-da-da, then unfriend me right now. I always press unfriend.
Same here.
So if you tell me to, I absolutely will.
100%.
But other than that, like even you spinning out, the only thing I'm going to think is like, this will pass. I hope you're going to be okay. I hope that you can get on with your day. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not on Facebook enough for it to even affect me, but like, I hope when this all kind of shakes out and things calm down, that you can go back to posting about your family and being happy about just life. But right now, you're soup's annoying.
It is not going to happen. Look, the election isn't for another 2 years.
Yeah.
And
I'll let it pass. I'll see what happens.
4 months.
Sure.
2 years and 4 months. So
but then it's gonna be 2 terms. So then is it gonna go?
That'll be. I think on that second one, if he does get reelected, I think you'll see suicides in like mass. Like I think people will have reached their breaking point.
Conversely, though, I do like when people organize, when they do protests that actually make a difference.
Same.
I'm into that. Like channeling your outrage into something that's actually
beneficial or good.
I like that. Not just crazy ranting, like really organized. And I see a bunch of my friends holding up the signs, whatever. That's cool. Like I'm totally cool with that. And do what you got to do.
We've also spotlighted people on the show that like me with Lena Dunham. Like I don't like Lena Dunham or her whole shit. But when the border crisis was going on, she went down there and fucking did something. We highlighted her on the show and said, hey, man, look, I don't agree with Lena Dunham in real life. But
and they're making changes. And, I'm not going to say it's all because of people protesting. But, the voices were heard a little bit. So, if it's not just crazy outrage for no reason of like a housewife that's not doing anything, good for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Do it.
Exactly. With that being said, we do this every show. I feel like we go off and then we get sponsors. Who cares? It's our show.
We always say the sponsors and we love them.
We do. They pay for the show. So if we didn't have them,
and the further into the show, the better for them.
True.
Guys.
That's true. So, You're right. Because you can't skip.
For those skippers.
Can't skip.
Skippers unite.
Can't skip on a podcast.
Skip it. You never know if we're going to just say something awesome that you're going to miss.
I know. First and foremost, boss. We are 24 days out, Jabes.
Oh, boy.
From When Darkness Falls. He doesn't catch it. The sequel to At Night She Cries While He Rides the Steed. 1,700 copies. Short of the bestseller list.
Oh my gosh.
1,700 copies.
What did I tell you?
Jessie, we're 27 days away. Like that. That's a lot. It's a lot of movers and shakers, a lot of copies. You got to go out and pre-order it. A lot of people ask, why is it only available in hardback? Again, the reason being is for these bestseller lists, it's divided by hardback overall counts, blah, blah, blah. I cannot beat like the Michelle Obamas of the world. But in hardback, I can. So we're only releasing hardback now. And then a couple weeks afterwards, audiobook, paperback, etc. will come out. But I need these pre-sales. All these pre-sales count for the opening week of the New York Times bestseller list. So the week after, they won't, man. It starts over again, so I'm fucked. Go and pre-order When Darkness Falls. He doesn't catch it. This is equal to A Night She Cries While He Rides this dude. Next up, we got BlackRifleCoffee.com. Started the show off, and I know what I said. Boom, I'm popping a little Strike Force in here. This isn't coffee today. I had coffee this morning, recorded in the afternoon. I got some water, so I had to go with my afternoon Strike Force. A little bit of a little crash this afternoon for me. Strike Force is my go-to. It's my go-to. Having a couple sips of it now. I got 4 amazing flavors. Talking about original, orange, grape, and lemon. And they also got a 750 milliliter bottle that I squeeze at the top. Again, if you're watching the video shows on YouTube or iTunes, you can see me squeezing that 750 milliliter bottle. They get a 10-pack, a 40-pack, and they ship everywhere in the entire world. They've also got a subscription of the month club, and so does Black Rifle Coffee. You know, so fuck. We're killing two birds with one stone here. Go to strikeforceenergy.com. Use the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off. Subscription of the month club. Go to blackriflecoffee.com. Start your day off with some coffee. Subscription of the month club. 20% off. Revolution is the promo code there. Boom, boom. These are the new mugs that Jessie's got from Black Rifle Coffee.
They're so cool, guys.
God, they fucking do it, don't they?
It just feels good in the morning to be like, I have a custom, amazing, cool mug. It's awesome coffee.
It's rad. Big fan. So we're combining two sponsors at once here. Black Rifle Coffee, strikeforceenergy.com, brcc.com, blackriflecoffee.com. Revolution, 20% off of both kids. Subscription of the month of both kids. And then we're going to move into Grill Your Ass Off. Why? Because now they're offering a subscription of the month on their jerky.
Jerky only, huh?
Jerky only, yeah.
Nice.
Jerky only.
That's really all you want to like.
I believe
these are so big.
I believe they do seasonings.
I know, but these are so big, you guys. I feel like...
Yeah, it's look.
I feel like you're good.
You're good.
And then you're going to need the jerky to keep coming, though.
Oh, boy.
Do they do a daily subscription?
God, I wish they did. I wish you actually told me to stop eating it. You remember that? You're like, dude, you're going to fucking die. And I was like, I don't think so.
It just doesn't seem like...
Healthy for me to eat jerky every day? A
Anyone.
pack of jerky every day? I love it.
On that much meat in the gullet.
I
don't
love
know.
it. I love it. I could eat meat all day long. I'm a carnivore, Jabes.
Sure.
I'm not the other one, whatever that is. Is it a Vegasaur?
An herbivore?
Yeah, there you go. I'm totally fucking with you.
An omnivore?
I'm neither.
That's both.
I'm not. I'm hardcore. Yeah, nailed it. I don't even know what that means.
You win some, you lose some.
Yeah, you do. GrillYourAssOff.com is the place to go for all your seasonings: chicken, steak, pork. Crispy, friend of the show, Crispy Avila's got his own line called the Habanero Spices. Yeah, real seasoned spice rates. Go to GrillYourAssOff.com. Try their jerky, all American package for flavors. The sweet and savory, sweet and spicy is my favorite though. Love it. GrillYourAssOff.com. Use the promo code REVOLUTION for 15% off there. And then last but not least, it's the big guy behind me. You see it on the video show. If you haven't seen the video show, pop it up on iTunes or YouTube and check out the new signage on the new set here. The Ross Patterson Revolution sign behind me is phenomenal. It was made by woodburnedwarriors.com. Woodburnedwarriors.com. They make some of the finest. How would you describe this? A piece of art? Like,
yeah.
Fuck, man.
I think it's art. So it's like burnt. It's like they're craftsmen. They make amazing burnt wood.
Yeah.
Anything. Mostly flags, but if you have anything custom, they can literally do it, and it's by hand. These are like, it's a small company, veteran owned. They're amazing.
And they're I mean, this is gorgeous. And like the craftsmanship and the detail that goes into these things. They make American flags. Shit. They make American flags that open up or, slide over so you can put your fucking 9 in there in case shit gets loose. You can put your Kimber 1911 up in that bitch in case somebody breaks in the house. Boom. It's right there in the living room. Kids don't even know it's there. Yeah. They can do anything for you. They can put your face, your cousins' faces, your brothers. I'd like to get a B2K one for you.
That would be, you guys.
Dennis Rader.
They could do it.
Yeah, they could do it. Fuck yeah, they could do it.
Oh my gosh.
I know Jay Simpson one if you want it.
Red in there.
Go to for blood, some blood spatters.
They do colors too. I have one of the flags that has like burnt colors in there. It's fucking awesome.
So dope. Go to woodburnedwarriors.com. Type in the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off. They're making some fucking dope shit there. Super stoked that they're on this month for the podcast. Want to start?
We need some shave in our life.
Oh, that's right. God damn it.
You just used it, and I just have to say, I can't believe you don't. I mean, it's so smooth on you right now.
Is
You're
it?
coloring. I mean, you look great.
How smooth is it, Jabes?
It is a clean cut. It's smooth. You like it? Do you like how I freeze too? Because you're like, oh, did the video stop?
On the video show, you stop like mannequin. Like, boom. Yeah. It's like the mannequin challenge.
Uh-huh.
And, or the
that
movie.
Was fun,
or the movie with,
or Mannequin 2.
Andrew McCarthy, and Kim Cattrall.
Oh, yeah.
She was the mannequin.
Was he in Mannequin 2 as well?
Don't know.
Gosh.
Don't know. Never.
That one was my favorite.
Yeah. It always is. You're a Weekend at Bernie's 2 fan as well.
2 fan. I'm a Grease 2 fan.
Yeah.
I like when they try it again, it just doesn't quite work.
Yeah.
That's when I like it.
That's when you really love it.
Yeah.
Like Dumb and Dumber
3,
2.
Yeah. 3, they kind of usually get it together again. But sometimes that 2, they just...
No, done. Done. Straightrazors.com. OG, homie. I wasn't going to forget them. I was gonna start off with their new kits. These new kits that they're doing, because a lot of people are saying, "Hey man, straight razors, I'm a little nervous about it." These new kits are the safety razors. The safety razors are the same as your normal fucking razor, but the blade is better, so it lasts longer and you get a smoother shape. You were talking about it earlier, of like, hey, I want to talk about your shape. It's because these new razors are fucking amazing, and sure. You can get away from using the what is it, the Mach 9 fucking 18
Mach
blades,
11 for
Jesus Christ.
The razor itself will be $5 if you want to replace.
Yep.
By your replacement razors, that's going to be $105.
99 extra dollars. Yeah.
That's not even exaggeration though.
Fucking crazy.
It's not a joke.
I know.
It's fucking crazy. So yeah, if you want an affordable clean shave that actually lasts longer.
Yep.
And then anything you need to groom as a man.
Go to straightrazors.com. Type in the promo code Revolution for 20% off. And they got shampoos, conditioners, and then the Smolder aftershave is the greatest goddamn aftershave that is ever invented by man. And that's no lie.
Get a little oil.
Straightrazors.com, promo code Revolution, 20% off. That's a big savings there. First, a little update for you real quick here, Jabes.
Okay.
I called it. Rostradamus was right again.
You did.
Scarlett Johansson. That movie with the trans, we're so outraged because trans can only play a trans. I said the movie would never happen now, and it's dead.
Canceled.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
Good job,
Gosh.
social justice warriors.
Yeah.
You just effectively canceled this. First of all, I'd never even heard about this guy's story. Second of all, I didn't know Scarlett Johansson actually was producing this movie out of her production company. So that means she went out and personally found this story herself. Fought through hell to get this movie made. Yeah. Because trying to find a financier who's going to pick this up and make this happen in today's blockbuster fucking superhero world. Yeah. Good luck. Now the movie's dead.
Yeah.
So congratulations.
So cool. You guys won't ever see it. And that part that you thought a trans person should have gotten. Yep. No longer.
Don't worry. And the story that of a transgender person's struggle to make it in today's society.
Gosh, that would have been interesting to see, wouldn't it?
On the screen. Not going to happen anymore. Not gonna happen anymore.
Yeah, because that could have helped you guys too a little bit.
Yeah.
To have someone like Scarlett Johansson playing a member of your community. Yeah. And adding, telling their story in a way that makes people that maybe weren't so into the trans community kind of perk up and listen and really
you blew that.
Blew
that one out the door. So that one's gone.
Good job.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what they wanted to do, right?
Yeah.
Is totally just bury it?
Okay. So they did it. Congratulations.
Fucking idiots.
Yeah. Glad for your outrage.
It's one of the things I will get a little bit pissed about.
Oh yeah, you will. Yeah, you will. That'll really grind your gears, and that's fine. But you take somebody like Tom Hanks, who had AIDS. He was a gay man who was dying of AIDS in Philadelphia. Yep. There was I don't remember any outrage during that.
No outrage.
Weird.
No outrage for Felicity
Huffman. Nope.
Yeah,
No outrage for
in Trans America,
Jared Leto, and any of them. What I do find fascinating though is like somebody like Tom Hanks, such a nice guy. I believe that if there was a backlash like this, he would have just gotten AIDS and then done the movie. You know, still continued of like, hey guys,
he's very method as well.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm super sorry that I disappointed you. I'm gonna just go ahead and get AIDS and
get
do
a
the movie.
Boyfriend, leave my family, my wife.
Yeah.
I'm going to get a boyfriend. If this is the only way, you guys, that I can play this part that I would love to play, and that's going to actually shed a lot of light on, you know, things that people are quite ignorant about, I'll do it.
He doesn't like to disappoint people.
No, he's a Tom Cruise in that way.
You know, he's very active on Twitter, and like his Twitter's actually funny. He signs everything with Hanks, but it's Hanx, and like always makes me laugh.
I love that.
Yeah.
I do love that.
He always makes me laugh. I don't know if I've told this story in the podcast. I literally ran into him at a party. I turned a corner. It was a small party. It was like an Oscar function at some big time agent's house, and like ran smack face right into him.
You've done that with a couple celebrities. You hit them.
No, I just boom. I turned the corner, wasn't looking, and then I was like,
people just in
"Oh my god,
life.
You're Tom Hanks," and she's like, "Yeah, I am." I was like, he's the nicest guy in the world. His Twitter, if you're going to follow somebody's Twitter, since my rant at the top, follow Tom Hanks. He's pretty polite.
And he has a different view than us, right? But he's quite funny about it.
I don't really know. I don't
sure.
really.
I like that when you can't really tell, when they just kind of like are talking about story, right?
Yeah, it depends on who it is. Because like in an actor of like Hanks' caliber and shit like that,
he can't be too.
No, I want to show up to the movie and not know, and just kind of watch the movie for the movie. Yeah. With the new show that Sacha Baron Cohen's doing, a lot of people can't like tell which way it was. I watched the pilot, and they went after some Republican. He went after some Republicans in Congress, and then he went after like Bernie Sanders and some other people, and it was just like the gist of the show, I guess, is this is America, and all of you guys are fucked up, I guess.
Okay. I can get down with that.
Yeah. So it wasn't bad. We watched.
Right,
I think you watched the first like 10 or 15 minutes with me. I'm still shocked that people are fooled by Sacha Baron Cohen at this point.
Me too. What was it? That's what I said. He puts on this crazy makeup. You know, like it's when people are in a fat suit.
Yeah.
If you see them up close, do you know what I mean? On like TV,
fake.
you're like, okay, wow, she really looks different. But if you see them up close.
In person, yeah.
In person, even a man with makeup.
Yep.
It looks very strange.
Totally.
And you've got to be like,
Case in point, we since we're doing the video show, hot lights in here. I've got to throw a dash of makeup on.
Well, every guy on camera has to. But.
Well, every human on camera does.
Yeah.
Just because of the lights and all of that shit. With that being said, when there has been times where like I've gone to the gym after the show or whatever and not just dealt with it because I was going to run or something. And you notice those looks from people of like, oh, you're a man wearing makeup out in public. And I'm like, oh, fuck. And you want to tell them. And you're like, screw it. I don't really give a shit.
Point.
And that's just a light dollop of makeup, if you will.
Sure.
Forget a fucking fat suit and all this other shit. Like when we saw
like a big jawline.
Yeah, when we saw it, it was just like, oh, all right, cool. That's a dude in makeup, but it's still Sacha Baron Cohen. And and the voice for the first character that you watched on that show was very similar to Borat.
Almost identical, but yeah. When he said my wife.
Yes. When he said my wife, I was like, my wife.
That would have went off in my head of like, gosh, this could be a joke. And the things he's asking me to say are really bad. What should I do here?
Yeah.
And they must have signed on for something beforehand. Because
well, you do. You sign a waiver and you can't go back, and like these lawsuits are frivolous. Like you can't do anything about it. You've already signed your shit away. But we watched it. There was what seemed to be, and again, this was all over Twitter. Every celebrity was tweeting about it and how this is amazing and it's awesome and blah, blah, blah. Drudge Report had a big story about it for a couple days. They didn't do any press or any run up to it. They just dropped it on Showtime and then did it. I mean, you could have promoted it, I guess, in advance. once it was already shot in the can.
Yes.
But I was like, man, it seemed to me with the buzz online and on Twitter, which will take me back to the outrage of everything else, things seem bigger than they are. And you're like, oh man, everybody must be watching this. That's why I watched it, and that's why I wanted to see it. And, we saw it together. I looked at the ratings today. 327,000 people watched it.
That's close to our numbers.
Our numbers are higher. No offense.
No, I mean watching.
Yeah. Watching, but like, no offense, but our podcast gets triple those numbers. So like, I mean, I had to go back and recheck it. I was like, that can't be. And sure enough, it was. And then it goes on to say what was like lower than this, or what the other ratings were. Stephen Colbert has a show called Our Cartoon President about Trump, which I've seen the previews for. I mean, I've seen the commercials. That had 186,000 viewers. Yeah. The worst that I can remember in my life was the Spoils of Babylon for IFC, the Will Ferrell show. That they totally ripped. Just stole my character from Strange and Shames. That had 81,000 viewers.
That's really bad.
I've never heard of anything like that. I mean, a Freeman Friday gets that, in 10 seconds. So
I guess it's done. I guess it's over.
Yeah. And like, to put it in perspective of what it was on against, because this was even more shocking to me, which I didn't know. It says Mexico Life. Do you know what that is?
I do not.
I don't.
Know.
It says it's a cable show.
Mexico Life.
1.9 million viewers.
Okay.
Don't know what that is, but it was on at 10 o'clock on Sunday night against it. Something called On the Chase with PZ. It's on the Discovery Channel.
Okay.
Never heard of that either.
I don't know.
1.5 million viewers. Again, for basic cable, these are great numbers. Like 1.9 is phenomenal. 1.5 for Discovery Channel is pretty goddamn good that late on a Sunday night. The History of Comedy on CNN. This one got me.
Okay.
CNN's not a hilarious network.
No.
Never has been, never pretended to be. The History of Comedy on CNN, 764,000 viewers, which is still twice as many as that show.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it was because it was on Showtime and not HBO. Because remember all Sacha Baron's shit, like the Ali G show and all that stuff was on HBO.
Right.
I don't know what the deal is. Or people are just fucking over him doing characters and, pranking people. Like, look,
I'm not dying to see the next one.
I'm not either.
So,
and it's one of those things where like every comedian's shtick runs out after the lifetime of it is about 10 years. Yeah. For every comedian, Sandler, same thing. Like, and somebody told me this on the come up. They were like, "Hey, man, once you get hot in a particular thing, if you're not changing as a comedian, you're fucked because your shtick's going to run out in about 10 years. People are going to get sick of you and your whole thing. Either you get overexposed, or you're only good at doing that one thing, and people are sick of that one thing."
For sure.
And I've always heard that on the come up. Luckily, I never got that famous, so it didn't really fucking matter. But
good for you.
No,
I'm so happy.
But I studied it, and I went back and looked at it because this new Robin Williams doc is just coming out on HBO that I'm amped to watch tonight, and a big fan of Robin Williams. And when I looked at it, I was like, I never got tired of Robin Williams. Like that wasn't the case. And then
he shifted though.
Yes. Yeah. And that's what I thought about. I was like, shit. The reason why I didn't, because he's a great dramatic actor, and he did a bunch of awesome shit, Good Will Hunting, and won an Oscar and all that stuff. And he was able to switch. And then also his comedy was so crazy, like him as a person and fast and all that shit. He was riffing off of things that were going on in everyday life. He wasn't relying on a character. he was just genuinely funny all the time.
Right, but he was a bit much.
Right, but every time he was on, he killed. And it was just like, all right, great. And we had a comedian on Drinking Bros podcast, our sister show the other day, with Butch Bradley, and he was talking about how great Chappelle is, where Chappelle can just get up and tell stories. He's always Dave Chappelle. He's never not been Dave Chappelle. He had a hit TV show that was rad, but it was like, that guy can keep telling stories forever as long as his stories are interesting and funny.
Yeah.
And it's true. I think the resurgence of Seinfeld with Netflix of like comedians in the car getting coffee is just like him kind of being a dick in the car with people. Because a lot of people have commented of like, God, he's kind of an asshole.
Oh, it's just awesome.
Like, but I like it. Awesome. I don't mind it. And that's who he is. And it's different than his character on Seinfeld. So it's like, it's a shift of like, all right, I mean, in the 80s, he was your ultimate 80s comedian.
Pivot.
Yes. He got out of telling fucking airplane peanut jokes to having...
Or that voice, even his voice is like not like that anymore. He's like dropped it down a lot, even when he's doing bits. It's not like, and also.
Exactly.
You know.
So he pivoted.
Yep.
Has changed 3 times, I would say. He still does stand up, and you know his stand up specials are on Netflix. To me, they're very similar to the 80s ones, and that's why I can't watch that type of shit. It's just not my type of comedy, but I really like comedians in cars getting coffee.
Yeah.
Love that show. And they're bringing back new episodes of it and all that stuff, so I'm amped about that. What are you laughing about? Did you watch them already?
No.
Oh, fuck you, dude. Did you watch them already?
No.
Oh, you did.
No. I would never. That's a huge thing
you
with
fucking
couples.
Cocksucker. Did you really?
I didn't. I did not. I would never.
Which one did you watch?
I only have one left on this.
Are you kidding me? You watched all of them? How many more are there?
Same amount. I don't know. I don't know.
I go out of town for 5-6 days, and then boom, you can't make it through the day, and you just gas through all of this.
You watched the Howard Stern thing without me.
One show.
Well, you know, Comedians in Cars, it's just the other one starts, and it's like, it doesn't give you a lot of time now on Netflix, guys. It goes, 3, 2, 1, and then it just starts. You can't really stop it, like, once you see who it is. And so it just sort of like kept going. I saved the Jerry Lewis one for you.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Appreciate you leaving that guy for me.
Oh my gosh, you're seriously so mad.
I am, but
it's a big no.
You know what I'm
really
going to do
sorry.
on my way to Paris in a month.
Exactly.
I'm going to watch him.
And that's what I was thinking the whole time that I watched it. I go, you were in Vegas at fucking Mastro's, and I was like,
at Joe's Stone Crab. Yeah,
Joe's probably even better.
Both.
And drinking and sleeping in a hotel by yourself, hopefully. Now I don't know.
Yeah,
since I watched that.
Yeah,
you may have to.
You kind of have
bring someone back to the room, and that would be samesies.
Yeah, of course. You know, obviously,
watching Comedians in Cars without you.
Yep, is akin to like, hey,
a gal up to your room.
Bringing a partner,
sure.
A different sexual partner into your room. But I'll make sure to take a picture of that.
Okay.
On my flight to Paris in first class.
Okay,
I'm kidding.
Sorry, I know. That's what I was thinking. It's like, give me something, man.
No, that's a terrible thing, because I'm not going for like 7 more weeks.
I know.
And you just couldn't do it. Boy. Anywho's. Back to these comedians.
Sure.
Now that you've ruined,
your life.
Yeah.
The day. The week. The month.
Year.
Sure.
With that, like Sandler. Sandler's a guy who did the same fucking thing for 10 years. And look, when he started, I loved it. Dude, I bought the album, the fucking Sandler comedy thing of there are no dumbbells in here, just my balls. Like,
sure.
Loved that comedy album.
The trifecta movie of the Happy Gilmore.
Madison.
Is there one more?
Big Daddy. Like, Big Daddy was the last one for me.
Oh yeah, that was it wasn't quite in the vein, but same people, same thing.
And Waterboy for a little bit, I guess.
Yeah.
But that was it. And then after that, the last 15 years or whatever has been awful. Good for him for continuing to make money and shit, but
he's a factory now.
Yep.
But
and look, it's fine.
Do your thing.
He's making money. Hey, you're working.
Totally.
I don't give a shit.
But I will say, even with like Jim Carrey, he pivoted. I do like seeing him in dramatic roles now. I actually don't want to see his shit anymore.
I don't think he's like I don't enjoy him in dramatic roles like I do with Robin Williams.
Okay.
So like you take Jim Carrey in Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which is one of our favorite movies. I think if you would have put Sam Rockwell in that movie.
Oh, you could have plugged anyone in. I'm just saying that like he is, you're interested by these people, Robin Williams, Jim Carrey, so even Will Ferrell tried it a little bit, which I didn't mind it. I didn't like because I'm so interested in them. And I know that a lot of comedians have this really dark side. And so it seems really natural for them to, if they can tap into that and not try and be funny the whole time.
Right.
It's a dark comedy that I'm into. They're able to do that kind of funny, sad thing.
Yeah, but
better than normal.
To me, just not very many of them can do it well.
No.
The ones who can do it well, in my opinion, are Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Which is, again, why I'm stoked to watch that doc. Have you seen that already? Jesus Christ. Came out an hour ago. Are you sure? When I was getting ready, when I was in the shower, you didn't watch that? And Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy's really good at that. And I think he still got robbed. He should have won an Oscar for Dreamgirls. I know he's coming back and he's doing a serious movie for Netflix.
Okay.
So I'm amped to see that. Those two were the only ones to me that comedian wise, where I was just like, all right, dope. I enjoy it.
Otherwise it gets old.
Yep, it does.
So, and Sandler tried it a little bit. Spanglish.
What was it? Punch Drunk Love.
Punch Drunk Love made me want to kill myself and everyone in the world. Did not love it.
People like that movie a lot.
I know they did, but they're masochists. But Spanglish I really liked.
Oh God, gross.
Get out of the damn wind.
Gross.
You guys know what I'm talking about.
Nope,
you guys
they don't.
know.
They don't. About 4 people watch Spanglish.
It's good.
Jesse. But a lot more watched that Home Run Derby last night.
Sure.
Man, that was fucking sexual.
Jeez, it was everything you wanted it to be.
It really was. We're doing a new sports show on Drinking Bros on Wednesdays, and we're going to all these events. We get fucking cool tickets and shit to everything, which is amazing. This was one that the Major League Baseball All-Star Game, something I've always wanted to go to. But I want to go under my own pretenses of like, all right, cool. It's here.
Sure.
And I want to go here and I want it to be special because chances are I'm probably not going back again. Right. This year, when we could actually get tickets and do all the dope shit, it was in Washington, D.C. And no, I will not do Washington, D.C. in July. It is miserable. And
nothing against Washington. I like it.
I like Washington, D.C.
Right. Because I love traffic.
The traffic there is the worst. Throw that heat on top of it in that city. Fuck off. I'm good on it. And I told my co-host on that show, Dan Holloway, I was just like, he goes, what do you think about this All-Star game? And I was like, man, I've always wanted to go to the home run contest, sit in like left field, where just balls are whizzing past you left to right field. Balls are whizzing past you. You got a chance to catch one.
Yes.
It'd be fun to take the kids, the boy, and do it. I think that would be like a dream.
Yeah.
I just don't want to do it in Washington, D.C. When I told him this, I said, the lack of stars in the National League lineup this year, I was like, there's only one fucking guy that would really turn this around, and it was Bryce Harper, who is superstar, not having a great year. He's in a contract year. Could have been the first $500 million contract in Major League Baseball history. Rumor has it the Yankees were going to give it to him if he had a good year after this. He's not having a good year. Sure. But I was like, he's a hometown guy. He's been playing for the Nationals. If he were to win it there in front of that hometown crowd, people would go bug fuck and it would be amazing. And it happened. Didn't go. And he was USA'd out to the maximum level. It was amazing. He had a red, white, and blue bandana on. Socks.
I think he was wearing a cape.
He had a red, white, and blue fucking bat that was engraved "We the People."
Boy,
amazing.
Did it right.
Won the first 2 rounds, 13-12. Couldn't have hyped up the excitement anymore. didn't think anything when I was just like, oh man, he's in the finals. What's going to happen now? He was down 18-9 in the finals with a minute left. His dad was his pitcher in his home stadium. 9 swings in a row, 9 home runs in under a minute, 60 seconds, ties it on the very last swing with 1 second left, goes into overtime. He wins, chucks his bat up in the air. Everybody goes bug fuck in the stadium. It's an unbelievable moment. And then they come out and give the trophy to him, and he hands it to his father. And I was just like,
stop it.
Who was pitching to him?
Stop.
And his dad, they interviewed his dad after the home run derby. And he said, it just reminded me of pitching to him in the backyard when he was a little boy and he used to do the same thing. And I'm
pregnant. You can't do this.
I'm choked up.
Yeah. So I'm crying.
I'm choked up.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah.
Oh my God. And this is like, that would have been worth DC traffic in 118 degree weather.
You're right. But you don't know.
You don't know. You never know. And I've said this before on the show, but my dream is to play in the celebrity softball game that they do before the home run derby and all of that shit.
Another incentive for us to get
the near. Yes, another incentive to go out and buy When Darkness Falls and catch it, because they put
full Black Rifle coffee the whole way.
They put best-selling authors and shit. Like on the acting side, I could probably make it. If you're a hometown boy, yeah. But you got to be a best-selling author. I need one more hit to push it over the edge. And the All-Star game is going to be in my hometown in a couple years in Atlanta, Georgia, in the new stadium. Yep. I'm a hometown kid. I can make the celebrity hero? Yeah, I can make the fucking celebrity softball game. Go do all of the shit. My child, our son, our oldest son, will be about 6 or 7.
Perfect.
Could you imagine getting to take him? Like me, take him to the game to see his dad play, and the celebrity softball game, and if he can.
No, by that time he will have a job.
Yeah, making shoes in a closet.
So yeah, if he can get off work and he can go see his dad,
I know, be great. And then we could do the home run derby together. That would be the dream. So let's make that happen. Let's make that happen.
You get something, we get something. Everybody's happy.
Everybody wins, and we're all fucking winners.
Everybody's happy.
Everybody wins. And that would be rad. Speaking of everybody winning, Johnny Depp. Went in hard on Johnny Depp about what was going on in that Rolling Stone article. And by the way, kids, if you haven't read that Johnny Depp Rolling Stone article,
he's a nut bar.
Holy fuck.
Gosh, Johnny.
Again, I would highly recommend it if you want to go down the rabbit hole of like, well, what do you do when you check out of life altogether and just live in your own world? It's a fun piece to read.
Sure.
But it turns out, he was suing his managers and all that shit for financial things. They settled. The case settled. It did not go to trial.
Now, what does that mean as far as
admitting?
Okay.
Don't know. Because it's sealed. So if you're settling, I would have to assume that there was some money that did change hands, and either the management firm didn't want to be audited, or vice versa. On the other side, Johnny Depp didn't want his personal laundry out in public any more than it has to be, because then you start, pulling up all these emails and all that other shit, going through these lawsuits, and that's what happens. And then you look like a fucking asshole in court, and
also
and all
Johnny
that other shit.
Can't be spending money on
legal fees.
Legal fees.
Yeah,
he's that broke, right?
He's that broke.
So I would say it was on his side as well.
He can fix his financial situation though if he sells his fucking 90 houses.
Sells a
before
bunch
it
of
gets
stuff.
too late. I will say that before it gets too late, because like in the case of Nicolas Cage, who I compared him to last time, where Nicolas Cage is essentially just working for the government now. All these movies are
it just goes
to
straight
make money.
To them. Nick.
Reason being is this. He had the same thing as Johnny Depp of fucking 19 houses or whatever.
Sure.
And ironically, they're best friends in real life.
Oh.
They have been for years. Nick Cage was the one who told Johnny Depp to go into acting. So
okay,
it was him.
Oh,
and
I think I saw that.
Because Johnny Depp moved out to do music and to LA. And Nick Cage was like, "Hey man, you got to get this fucking acting thing. It's dope." consequently, they were living the same identical life. They got famous.
Johnny Depp's like, thanks, Nick.
Yeah. And well, here's the thing. They've both lived amazing lives. They fucked it up on their own. But
for sure.
With Nick Cage, the reason that he got buried financially was not the fact that he owned these 19 houses, but by the time the finances caught up with him, he needed to sell them so fast that it was too much. When you're selling houses of like $15-16 million a piece, or villas, or in France and all that other shit, it takes time. It's not going to be a 30-day sale of quick money changing hands.
And if it is, you're going to lose a lot of money on it.
Right. Yeah. So that's what happened is he lost a lot of money. Some of these places didn't sell. Some of them had to go into foreclosure. Same thing with Johnny Depp is going to happen, which they've been imploring of him for years to sell these places. Is, hey, man, you got to sell this before it gets foreclosed, and then you're fucked because you're going to lose all the money. So if he starts fire sailing these houses now, and maybe he woke up after whatever suit this was that settled, he could make it back in time, I think. Okay. But if not, well, then he's going down the Nicolas Cage route, and guess what? He'll be doing a St. James Street James movie real soon.
Ooh.
Which I would love.
He scares me. I don't know if I could.
I've worked with actors that I've had to whisper lines to before, so fuck it. I don't give a shit.
This is Depp, you're saying?
Yeah.
You have to whisper lines to him?
That was in that Rolling Stone article that he has a earpiece in this Rolling Stone article that an acting coach is off camera somewhere reading his lines into this earpiece, and then he's regurgitating them. I don't know if that's true. Yeah. But I have had actors that I've worked with where I've had to do that before, so it could be true. I don't know. I don't know what stage he's at mentally in his life. After reading that Rolling Stone thing, who fucking knows? But I don't know. I don't know what's going to go on.
Yeah, they'll be available. Nick and him probably.
Yeah. But you can get... I'd love to have Nick Cage and Johnny Depp in a movie.
I don't think I'd be as...
Just the stories.
...as intimidated by Nicolas Cage.
No.
I don't think Nicholas, it doesn't seem to me, I don't know. It doesn't seem that he's as weird. He's like definitely was shitty with money.
Right.
But I don't know.
I don't know either of them.
As intense and weird and like, ugh.
I don't know either of them personally. And I've never met them or ran into them or smashed into them. Like those two, I have not. So I don't know. I've seen Johnny Depp out a bunch of times. And he's
super weird.
Yeah, and small.
I can tell you that without even knowing.
Small and you know.
And weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see Cage like partying a little bit. You know what I mean? Like being a little more.
Look, Johnny Depp was always drinking every time I saw him, but it's speculation. But
sure.
Who knows? Who knows? You know what else is speculation? Is the last thing I want to talk about? Is you remember She-Ra as a kid?
Yeah, it wasn't my fave, but I do.
No, but it was, you know, it was in the He-Man universe and all that shit.
It was around, yeah, for sure.
And Netflix is redoing it. Mm-hmm. And I had heard about that they were going to redo it. Because look, everything is getting rebooted or remade these days. And like for kids cartoon shows, like I don't mind it so much. Like the Double Dare reboot. You know,
it's good.
It's good. They kept Mark Summers. That chick is good. It's still the same exact show. So you're kind of just bringing back a game show that I liked with Double Dare. She-Ra, though, they just put the first clips of her up on line.
Okay.
A little weird.
Is this live action or animation?
It's animation. It's a cartoon.
Okay.
But it looks like a dude. It looks like a non-gender person. Where I was like, hey, man, what's going on here? Because that could be a guy or it could be a girl. What are we doing anymore? And there was a bunch of people online talking about it of like, some of them were like fanboys and like anime people who were just like, She-Ra isn't sexy enough. This isn't hot enough. And it's like, I find that weird whenever an adult man says that a cartoon figure isn't sexy enough that's for a children's show.
They have a little bit of a point, though, where it was a girl. She had boobs and tight
she was hot.
Things, and she was hot.
Yeah.
Like, so, but we're not allowed to do that anymore.
No.
And we can't, like, make it, we can't give any girl anything to aspire to.
But this was the first shift of like a reboot of like a, you know, something like this where it was a cartoon character that was kind of non-gendered, where you're like, yeah, it's going to have a female voice, but it kind of looks like a dude with long hair, but I can't really tell.
Oh, no.
And they looked it up, and I guess the designer and the animator and the thing is a lesbian or something. Okay. Again, I read it in an article online, so fact check that, because I'm not 100%, but you know, I think it was Entertainment Weekly. And when I saw it, I was like, man, was this on purpose? Is this where we're going? Because if all of this shit is we're just going toward a human without, you know, girls can't be hot anymore, dudes can't be overly dudely, like, what the fuck?
It is kind of where they want the world to go, though, where there's no like...
Feels like it, right?
Well, yeah, it can't be like, you know, it's like with the fat Barbie or the, you know...
Yeah, you're right.
The Miss America. It's we cannot say that there is an ideal body type, body shape, gender, the way, you know, pink isn't for girls anymore. Like all of these things that are slowly going to turn us into those, you know, futuristic movies that you see where everyone's just in like a white gown and you all have your head shaved and nobody's wearing makeup and you're just like dink, 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 and you like go to work. It's starting
to feel very Dark Mirror to me, where it's just like, is this where we're headed as a society, where it's just like, great, men, women, nothing exists, where, you know, and the rest of it is just getting so fucking ridiculous that it's like, I hope this isn't going to be the new norm moving forward, but it might be. Like yesterday, I saw that fucking Sports Illustrated swimsuit model walking down the catwalk breastfeeding.
Why?
Don't know. That was her choice and her thing. And like, I saw everybody online.
Were other models doing it?
No, just her. She just had a baby 3 months earlier and walked.
Yeah, but she can walk. She can breastfeed and then walk down.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to do it while she's working.
She pulled a tit out on the runway, had her 3-month-old baby, breastfeeding, did the entire catwalk with the baby breastfeed. Look at the pictures. Like, and the pictures, like you can see people are just like, oh my God. And I read some of the comments and I was like, what the fuck am I watching? Some of the comments were like, oh, she's so brave. Isn't this so powerful? Isn't this so amazing? And I'm like, what? I'm like, am I living in a fucking Twilight Zone here? Like, I looked at that and I was like, cool, man. Like, the only reason Sports Illustrated swimsuit models even exist in this world is to sell magazines to dudes to jack off to. The last thing you want to see is a newborn baby suckling on a teat, going down a catwalk back and forth. Like, I don't know who that's for, because it's certainly not for Sports Illustrated.
No. It's for herself.
Yes. And so with that, it's like there's some competition that is to be the next Sports Illustrated model, like swimsuit model. Is it a ploy to be like, hey, if you don't pick me, it's because I was breastfeeding my baby on the catwalk? It was like, I saw the picture and I was like, I thought it was a joke. That looked like a Sacha Baron Cohen thing to me, where I was just like,
for sure,
I thought,
a baby hanging off you.
For sure.
You're modeling.
It was part of his show. And I was like, all right, this has got to be a joke. And I looked at it like 9 different publications. It was no joke. It was stunning. I was just like,
and I think we are as a society a lot more forgiving of breastfeeding moms in public. So I don't know what her crusade is against. Like, I know for a second it was kind of like, put that boob away, and then like more and more moms were like, listen, it's all the time. Like, I can't stop to like cover up and make sure you're okay. Like, I need to just feed this baby. I'm fucking tired, blah, blah, blah. Like, and I think more and more people are like, okay, do your thing. You're not offending me by really seeing the top of your boob. I don't know.
But if you were at a movie premiere walking the red carpet, would you?
That's what I'm saying.
You're about to have a baby in about 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider that in a million years of like walking the red carpet with your baby sucking on your tit? Like,
no, because you don't have to. Do you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a necessity thing for her. So that's what pisses me off too. It's like she was using her baby to make a statement. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if you have to, where it's like, dude, I don't have my pump. I don't have my thing. I have to do it. And I'm never like, I'm going to be like that, whatever. Not too much. I'm a little bit, no judgment, but I'm a little bit like, I want to be more covered up. But that's just me. And there's going to be times when I can't. But you don't have to. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To walk up and down, you come back, put the baby back on your boob. Let people, take a picture of you doing it. Oh, I'm backstage. Like, or Serena, like, you didn't know that she was pumping before she literally ran on
I had no idea.
She had video of it, and it really is a powerful statement, but she's not like, I've got to pump while I play, guys. Like, see, I'm a mom. Like, you know what I mean?
The other portion of this to me that I look at, it was like, you also probably created a new sexual fantasy. There's a lot of pregnant porn.
Oh, sure.
Now there's this, like, I bet you there was a good 15, 20 dudes that still jacked off and were like, well, still solid tits.
Oh, totally.
Still solid tits.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know what that was for. Not only that, but like that
feels
that
like
baby,
creating a crusade where there is no need for one.
Right. And that baby. So you're gonna grow up and be like, oh hey, yeah, that was me. That was me on my mom's tit walking a catwalk for Sports Illustrated because she was a swimsuit model. And my life is normal. I turned out fine.
To me, it's just more empowering to be like, I can still walk this catwalk, be myself, be a person, and still be a mom. To me, that's a more empowering statement. Not that my whole life, you know what I mean, is this baby.
Crazy.
And I'm a mom now. That means I need to be a mom all the time. To me, that's not as,
Yeah.
It's a lot harder. It's a lot harder to like be a mom and still be a a person with your own identity. That's really hard. And the judgment with that is even more than breastfeeding. It's like, you're not spending enough time with your baby. You're not all about your baby.
Right.
It's like, I think that's a statement that I would much rather make personally, but you don't need to. The catwalk takes 2 seconds. Jeez.
Yeah, weird.
You don't need to have the baby on there.
I think that's where everything's going in society. So fuck it. With that, we'll get to the revolutionary figure of the day.
Please,
shall we? I'm gonna give this one to Freddie Mercury.
Okay.
Not only I've talked about him before. Is he one of the greatest singers of all time? Male singers,
absolutely,
or female. Fuck, he's one of the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
But the full trailer for Bohemian Rhapsody dropped last night at midnight. And it's fucking incredible. So it's November 2nd. It's about his life. This one kind of opened it up more to show you like that it was about him and all of this other shit. And from the trailer, everybody's saying, Oscar nom maybe for Mr. Robot. So I'm super stoked about that, and I watched him on Colbert, that Romany,
whatever. Rami Malek,
whatever. I'm not going to pretend it.
You don't say people's names.
I don't. It's so hard to pronounce. I don't even know what it was. It was like, is it Romy? Is it Rami? I don't really know.
Yeah.
But I saw him on Colbert.
Okay.
And they were talking about this upcoming movie and the Oscar chances and all of this shit. And he was talking about Queen and how much their music meant to people and the band and all that other shit and Freddie Mercury. And I wanted to give it to Freddie today. Like, that guy's
amazing.
He like going through that trailer again, just some of those highlights of his life. Like, I was a kid. He's super young. So I wasn't really alive for those where I was just like, I can appreciate this. Like, Queen came into my life much later, probably after Wayne's World.
Okay, yeah.
That's where
That's true, huh?
me personally, where I learned about Queen, and I was just like, oh shit, I'm going to check out the rest of their stuff. And then I had no idea the catalog of hits they had, and I went back and looked up Freddie Mercury and all that shit. And then I started watching all of his performances because I was like, man, what was this guy like? And to see it in this full trailer that is now out now, I was stoked about. And again, I shit on it when Sacha Baron Cohen, he you know, dropped out of that role. And again, that could have been his turning point, where it was just like, hey man, he could have been up for an Oscar, but the movie is different, but it looks great, and I'm super stoked to see it. And I'm stoked that Freddie Mercury is going to get more notice from it. Because as people get older and die, like, you forget about them and you forget about their music. And like, unless you make a movie about them, wink, wink, nudge, nudge on the Scarlett Johansson transgender movie, you forget these people's stories and you forget about how great they were. And watching this again, this full trailer of Freddie Mercury, I was like, oh fuck, he was so great. Like, this is awesome. So I'm stoked to see it now. And, so I'm all the way in on this on November 2nd.
So it didn't look at all like it was more about Queen than Freddie Mercury himself.
It looked even.
Okay. Well, I hope it is. So I'm excited. I'm not sure.
I'd say what, when we finish the show, watch the trailer and tell me what you think. But it's really good. It's called Bohemian Rhapsody. It comes out November 2nd. I don't hype this many movies like this before, but in a day and age where, again, everything is a superhero movie and you see something semi-original anymore, you're just like, oh my God, I'm blown away. This looks awesome, and I'm stoked to see it. Nice. You'll probably go before me, but that's you.
By myself.
Yep,
yeah.
by yourself
while
and
you're
watch
gone.
it. Yep. And watch it.
Yep.
But give it a look-see. And Freddie Mercury, still one of the greatest to ever do it, man. So we didn't forget. And I hope everybody else doesn't either. For Jessie Wiseman, a.k.a. the Jables, I am Ross Patterson. This is The Revolution. Good night, everyone.
Good night.